Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Bertram Fiddle, grabbing the Exquisite Chattering achievement. This is to talk to every single character in the game. First one's going to be given to you in Chapter 1. Once you get downstairs, you want to make sure you open up the cupboard, and in here you should meet your partner for the first time. His name is going to be Gavin, so make sure you get this. This one's going to be part of the story. After talking to him, you are going to head through the house, and then eventually once you get into the living room, you're going to meet your wife. Make sure you talk to her, and then that's going to be the next character. The missable one here is going to be the dog. Make sure you also talk to the dog once you are done talking to her. Very, very easy to miss. Moving on to chapter 2, at the start of the chapter, you're going to be out here on the town. You want to make sure you talk to these three people. First off, you have the fruit vendor off to the left, and then you have the guy reading the newspaper in the middle, and then finally the person selling the newspaper all the way on the right. So make sure you get these three before heading anywhere else, and you should be good for moving on to the next screen. So once you're ready, make sure you head over to the right, and this is going to take you to the front of the bar. Make sure you keep moving forward, and then this lady is going to pop up from behind the statue of the queen. Make sure you talk to her before moving on to the inside of the bar, and just get that out of the way, and then we're going to head inside, and there's going to be a bunch of characters in here, so this is going to be highly missable if you aren't paying close attention. So we're going to start off on the left and then work our way to the right. We're going to start with the bartender. Make sure you talk to him. This is important because he's going to give you the teacup. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you head to the right and then talk to the guy in the wheelchair on the foreground right here. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you talk to the guy guarding the door. We are going to have to move him out of the way to get access to the back room, which is going to be part of the story. So make sure you talk to him before doing that. Then work your way to the right. Then you have these two guys talking to each other. Just talk to one of them and you should get the count for both of them, since you are basically going to talk to both of them at the same time. And then finally, the last thing you want to talk to is going to be the guy who's sleeping in the bottom right corner. So that should wrap up this main area of the bar. Make sure you do the puzzle, which gives you access to the back room. Once you're back here, make sure you head into the door on the left. You should notice this guy getting a massage from this dodo. Make sure you talk to him, and then after you talk to him, you want to make sure you examine the three birds on the left. So the ones in the biggest cages, you don't have to talk to the one in the bottommost left, which is the tiny bird in the small cage, just the three birds here. And then after that, we are going to be good for moving on to the next room. So once you're ready, make sure you leave back out into the hallway and then take the right room entrance. Make sure you go in there. This is part of the story, which is going to end the chapter. You are going to meet Sherlock and his partner. Make sure you talk to both of them once they have finished introducing themselves. So once you're done talking to them, we should be pretty much done with everything we need at the bar. We are going to head back outside, and this time we are going to head over to the right. Before heading into the house, what you want to do is want to make sure you look to the right. There should be a raven right here. Make sure you talk to it, and it's going to fly away and give you a nice little Edgar Allan Poe reference. Then we are going to head inside and then meet the old man. He's going to give us a ton of backstory of what we're going to do in the next chapter. So make sure you talk to him, and then once you leave his house, we are going to pretty much end chapter 2. So make sure you head outside, and then you should notice there is now a stagecoach parked here. Make sure you don't talk to him quite yet. Instead, talk to the newspaper boy, and then after you do that, make sure you talk to the driver before you get inside. And then finally, once you get those two, you can actually head inside and then move on to chapter 3. Chapter 3 is going to start in the back alleys. Make sure you head through the gate, and then you're going to be out on the street. Make sure you talk to these three people. You have the girl pushing the hoop around. You have the guy who has fallen down right here and is sitting on the ground. Make sure you talk to him. You need to do that in order to get the watch, which is going to be key to a puzzle later on. And then finally, you want to make sure you try to interact with the door to knock on it, and then a woman's going to pop out, which you are going to also start a conversation with. So get these three people before leaving this first screen. So once we get all of those, we are going to continue on with what we're supposed to do in chapter 3, which is head to this house. Once here, you are going to meet Lady Ravishim. she's going to be in this room, so make sure you head on inside, and then make sure you talk to not only her, but also her parrot. Talk to the parrot first, and then talk to her, and we should be good for not missing anything here. So you're going to be off on the quest to do the thing for her, so we're going to leave the house, and then we're going to head over to the right. This is going to take us down, and then we're going to be out here. Make sure you talk to the fruit vendor, and then you're supposed to do some stuff here that we're not going to point out because, spoilers. Then after that, we're going to head to the opposite side and head left of Lady Ravisham's house. This is going to take us to the sewers. Head inside the entrance, and then you're supposed to do a little puzzle in order to light up the darkness. It's basically going to involve combining the watch with a diamond ring and then putting it on this barrel. Then once you get the place lit up, make sure you keep heading to the left. You should meet this guy, basically the what are you buying guy from Resident Evil 4. Make sure you talk to him, and then he's going to tell you some stuff. Then we're going to leave. We're going to break into the back door of Lady Ravisham's house once we get the thing to deal with the plant, and then we're going to keep heading through the garden, and then once we make it back here, the old man from earlier is going to hop out once we try to interact with this crack in the wall. Make sure you talk to him before moving on, and then we should get the next character. Wrap up the chapter, and then we are on to the next chapter. Starting off, we're going to talk to the guy in the tub right here. Make sure you talk to him, and then after that, we are going to head out to the town square. We are going to have a few people here. Start off by talking to the sweeping man, and then we're going to head over to the left. Over here is going to be this lady holding this piece of bread that we need to grab for story reasons. Make sure you do that. And then finally, you have the couple on the bottom left corner. So make sure you get those two. And then after that, we are going to start off by heading to the right. This is eventually going to take you to this house where we are going to actually end the chapter. But before we can do anything, make sure you talk to the door, and then basically this pair of eyes is going to poke out. Make sure you talk to them. Then what you have to do is you have to open up the outhouse. There's going to be a rat here. Make sure you talk to the rat before getting rid of him using puzzle stuff. After that, a bunch of stuff's going to happen. We are going to do a puzzle where we get the drawbridge lowered down. Make sure you cross it, and then you should be on the far left side of town. Over here, there's going to be a pair of kids playing marbles. Make sure you talk to them. And then after that, make sure you move to the right, talk to the spider in the tree right here. Then some more puzzle stuff in order to convince the kids to give you a specific item. And then after that, what we have to do is we have to head inside the house. Make sure you talk to the couple right here on the couch and the chair. Make sure you talk to the woman and talk to the guy. And then after those two, we are going to find their kids who are going to be hiding in the cupboard. So make sure you move to the right, open up the cupboard, talk to the kids, and then get to the next puzzle and solve it. And then we should be good for moving on to the end of the game. So this is the end of the game. You're going to be out on this street. Just move to the right, heading towards the final house. Sherlock and his partner are going to pop out again, so make sure you talk to the both of them, and then they are actually going to count as the last character. So if you happen to get everybody, this is where your achievement should ideally pop. There it is, 100 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.